The secret law of attraction. You forgot. Listen closely, because there is a tremor beneath your feet. A hush in the atmosphere. A magnetic pull that has followed you since the day you first dared to dream. It is the same invisible current that whispered to Edison in a dusty laboratory when the world still believed darkness was the natural order of night. It is the pulse that coaxed Carnegie from a penniless child in a factory to the titan who reforged the skyline in steel. And whether you realize it or not, that same current has been trailing you, waiting for the moment you remember its true name. You have been told that the law of attraction is a pretty phrase for wishful thinking, a sugar-coated placebo for those afraid of hard work. Yet Napoleon Hill never sold fantasies. He unearthed the architecture of mind that turns thought into granite and intention into gold. Somewhere along the way, between scrolling timelines, sponsored dreams, and the frantic noise of the now you forgot the law's most explosive clause, you attract not what you want, but what you are prepared to embody with unbreakable conviction. Picture a tuning fork struck in an empty room. The metal hums, and every molecule rearranges itself into patterns we cannot see but can feel. Your dominant state of being, your being, your identity, rings out the same way. Every belief, every internal declaration you repeat beneath your breath becomes that humming fork, and the external universe, obedient as ever, reshapes itself to match the note. When Lincoln, tired and battle-worn, declared inwardly that the Union would prevail, he was not bargaining with fate. He was altering frequency. The battlefield merely echoed the signal. So ask yourself, what frequency does your life hum at today? Is it the sharp, bright pitch of possibilities or the flat tone of resignation? Every complaint tunes you lower. Every courageous act, no matter how small, waking up an hour earlier, finishing the chapter, no one asked for, sending the email that scares you, tightens the string, lifts the note, and widens the channel through which opportunity travels. Make no mistake, the universe is not a kindly grandfather waiting to grant allowances. It is a mirror of mathematical precision. Sow uncertainty, reap delays. Sow unwavering conviction, reap accelerated results. The mirror cares nothing for etiquette. It reflects exactly what stands before it. That is why fear can glue mighty minds to the floor, and why faith, active muscular faith, can make the so-called impossible buckle and kneel. In the hush between now and the next second, make a decision. You will remember the clause. You will become the thing you seek. Not tomorrow. Not when the economy steadies, or when your friends finally applaud. Now. Let the decision thunder in your chest like the first roll of drums before a decisive battle. Feel every cell rearrange itself around taut resolve, and know you are rewiring the very circuitry of experience, as surely as Tesla rearranged copper to carry lightning into the night. Because here is the unsung secret. Circumstances are choreographed by consciousness. The house you owe, live in the zeros, or the drought in your account. The faces that appear in your life. The challenges that return like stubborn ghosts. All of it grew out of seeds sown in thought. Change the seed. The crop changes by law. That is not self-help poetry. That is physics dressed in spiritual clothing. Quantum experiments show particles flipping states simply because they were observed with intention. If subatomic reality bows to focused awareness, what makes you believe the macrocosm, the boardroom, the stage, the market operates any differently? The secret law you forgot is not a petition. It is a contract. Sign it with the ink of disciplined desire, and the world signs back with opportunities that seem only to the untrained eye like coincidences. Close your eyes, not to escape, but to focus. Behind the lids unfurls the only blueprint that has ever built an empire: imagination disciplined by clarity. Walt Disney was laughed out of his first studio, ridiculed for dreaming of mice that could talk and castles that could levitate above swampland. Yet every night he walked the quivering line between fantasy and tomorrow with surgical precision, describing to investors rides that did not exist, and fireworks that would bloom on cue. Those visions were not entertainment. They were architectural drawings, etched in the ether, later poured into concrete knotty steel. Clarity is not a cloudy photograph of desires. It is a high-definition map folded in your back pocket. Edges worn form constant study. When Hill wrote of burning desire, he was not talking about feverish impulses that flicker with every algorithm or trend. He spoke of the desire that drills like a diamond bit through granite, singular, relentless, luminous. Without it, the law of attraction is a radio tuned to static. With it, you become a broadcasting tower, and the frequency carries your coordinates to every resource required. But clarity alone is dormant until sealed by purpose. Purpose is the gravitational field that keeps vision in orbit when distractions threaten. To pull it into oblivion. Purpose woke Mandela every dawn of his captivity, and taught him to polish his spirit behind bars so that upon release, it would shine brighter than any chain of injustice. Purpose turned Helen Keller sightless and voiceless into a lighthouse for millions who mistook difficulty for impossibility. Purpose will turn your Monday morning traffic jam into a corridor of meditation where plans sharpen like arrows. Do not wait for the conditions to be perfect. Storms do not consult the calendar before they thunder across the sky. Decide and conditions will bend. Cortez burned his ships to insist on victory. You must burn yours, the excuses, the exit strategies, the loyalty to comfort. When the subconscious mind senses no retreat, it recruits faculties you never knew you possessed, heightened intuition stamina that outlasts the critic in your head. Creativity that finds doorways where walls once stood. Let me be clear, vision without discipline is hallucination. Discipline without vision is drudgery. The law of attraction harmonizes both. The disciplined vision interprets setbacks as data criticism, as free consulting, and time as an ally that compounds every incremental gain. Andrew Carnegie understood this when he forged partnerships instead of rivalries, seeing competitors not as threats, but as reflections, reminding him to refine his own steel. Your adversities are mirrors too polished by friction, clear enough to show precisely where you must evolve. So erect your inner cathedral. One brick of clarity, one beam of purpose at a time. See the spire before a single stone is laid. Feel the echo of choirs that have not yet gathered. Smell the incense of celebrations that history has scheduled for you. This is not delusion. This is creation in its embryonic phase. Stand firm in that vision, and you will find that resources have a peculiar way of appearing just after the moment most people quit. Above all, refuse to negotiate with doubt. Doubt is the unpaid intern in the office of your mind, busy, loud, and utterly without authority. Acknowledge its chatter, then assign it no tasks. While doubt rambles, you will be drafting blueprints in ink that does not fade. Sign them with boldness, and watch how people, places, and events rearrange themselves like chess pieces nudged by an unseen grandmaster, all aligning to the checkmate you resolved long before the game began. And when the skeptics demand evidence, smile not with arrogance, but with the serene confidence of one who understands that seedlings prove nothing to those who can only recognize forests. Evidence is the final stage, not the first. Remind yourself that every towering oak began as an almost laughable speck, pushing blindly through indifferent soil. Your idea, your career, your reinvention is that seed. It does not owe the world proof while still beneath the surface. It only owes persistence. Keep watering the soil no one else believes in, and one unsuspecting morning, the crust will crack. That crack is the first affirmation the universe grants to the unwavering. Those who walk by will call it luck or timing, unaware that timing is merely patience finally made visible. You will know better. You will feel the quiet nod of cosmic partnership, and step forward, unhurried, understanding that what is yours by law cannot be taken, only delayed. Step forward anyway, because destiny favors momentum over potential. Now, let the vision ignite motion, because attraction without action is a compass with no sail. Henry Ford did not magnetize prosperity by merely contemplating engines. He assembled them, broke them, improved them until metal sang along Michigan assembly lines. He wove thought into tangible form by the stubborn rhythm of daily measurable steps. Success does not sprint. It marches. Each dawn, You lace your boots of discipline, you are casting a vote in favor of inevitability. Discipline begins in micro-decisions so small, the world will never applaud them. The alarm silenced before sunrise. The journal entry scrawled when fingers ache. The email drafted with precision instead of haste. These acts are like invisible rivets in the hull of the titanic dream you are constructing. Miss enough rivets and the iceberg is a certainty. Insert them faithfully, and even oceans of adversity become navigable. Yet even the most disciplined schedule warps if your environment conspires against it. Hill taught the mastermind, an alliance of like-minded minds is oxygen for greatness. Surround yourself with cynics, and the air grows thin. Your ideas suffocate before they rise. Surround yourself with believers who treat their ambitions like ordained missions, and you inhale courage with every conversation. Edison hosted midnight gatherings, where inventors traded sparks of insight the way blacksmiths trade iron. You must forge your own council of firebrands. Still action and environment find their apex in habit. Neuroscience now confirms what Hill intuited: repeat an act, and neural pathways thicken like well-trodden forest trails. Eventually, the act requires less negotiation, less conscious effort, until it moves with the inevitability of gravity. Build habits that sculpt the identity you declared earlier, and your days begin to autopilot toward the life you scripted. But beware, the same law works in reverse. Linger in distraction, and those neural trails reroute destiny toward mediocrity. Implement the law of compounded action. 1% improvement daily does not add, it multiplies 37 times better in a single year. Picture that the version of you that wakes next June looking back, hardly recognizing the hesitation you carried today. That is not motivational arithmetic. Tot is exponential mathematics working silently while you sleep. But remember, the harvest obeys seasons. Plant today, water tomorrow, weed perpetually, and reap only when the fruit is ripe. Impatience is the tax the unwise pay for not trusting the process. Trust it. Honor it when the results arrive, and they do so in clusters like ripe grapes heavy on the vine. Feast gratefully, but do not stop planting. Fortune is a guest who lingers only in homes where work is perpetual. And if failure knocks as it did on Ford's door, with the quadricycle catching fire in the night, greet it like a blunt mentor. Failure does not contradict the law of attraction. It completes it, revealing the parts of your belief system still out of tune. Adjust, retune, continue. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. Let the energy of a misstep recycle into sharper focus, refined strategy, deeper humility. In that alchemy, setbacks transmute into stepping stones. Do this, and motion itself becomes magnetic. Investors call you. Collaborators find you. Opportunities surface in the inbox at 3:00 a.m., labeled urgent. The world senses when a human being has shifted from passive consumer to active creator, and it responds as iron filings to a magnet's field, swift, precise, inevitable. So rise tomorrow, not with dread, but with the calm excitement of a blacksmith stoking the forge at dawn. Your hammer is action. Your anvil is time, and every strike rings out across the chambers of possibility, summoning results already speeding toward you through corridors unseen. And while you labor, let gratitude season the sweat. Gratitude is not a passive thank you note to the cosmos. It is a signal flare that tells the universe you acknowledge receipt of its gifts and are ready for larger deliveries. Every time you breathe appreciation into a task, the tedious report, the late-night study session, you elevate its frequency, transforming drudgery into a ritual of abundance. From this elevated state, ideas arrive cleaner. Conversations flow smoother. Not obstacles reveal hidden doors disguised as walls. Take 10 seconds now, yes, in the middle of this grinding chapter, to sense the pulse in your wrist, the roof over your ambitions, the mind capable of translating invisible thought into audible word. Taut feeling of expansion in your chest is not sentiment. It is calibration. It tunes your signal, attracting events that resonate on the bandwidth of thanks. Grateful hearts and disciplined hands, that is the unbeatable formula, the two-stroke engine that powered every pioneer who ever carved a road where maps swore no road could exist. But what happens when the road curves where no cart has ever gone? adaptability enters the quiet architect of longevity. Darwin never said the strongest survive. He said the most responsive do. The law of attraction, misunderstood as rigid affirmation, is in fact fluid. It demands that you adjust the sails even as you keep the star in sight. Resilience is not an armor that deflects reality. It is a muscle that bends it into shape. Recall the night Edison's laboratory burned to the ground. His life's patents notes prototypes reduced to smoke. Reporters expected despair. He watched the flames with almost childlike wonder and said, "There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew." Within weeks, new designs emerged sharper than before because fire had erased the obsolete. Adaptability alchemized loss into clarity. In your era, the flames are algorithms. Industries disrupted overnight by code written in distant rooms. The skill you polish today may obsolete tomorrow, not because you failed, but because the world evolved. Bend with it. Study. Iterate. Upgrade your mental firmware way. Tesla pushes software updates to cars while they sleep. The universe rewards the learner, not the complainer. Yet adaptability without core principles becomes drift. MLK Jr. altered strategies, routes, and rhetoric, but never bargained away the fundamental vision of justice. Like a river that meanders but never forgets ocean, your mission can curve yet remain true. Hold the vision. Change the tactics. The law of attraction operates like GPS, recalculating a route. The destination encoded by belief remains fixed. The path flexes with real-time data. Resilience deepens this dance. It is forged in adversity, then shines in routine. Soldiers are not trained on calm parade grounds alone. They are trained to find calm while thunder rips the sky. Do likewise. When markets tumble, clients vanish, or the manuscript faces rejection. Number 39, let resilience convert the blow into kinetic press. Use the force pushed against you to spring forward. Think of a basketball, its power to rise equal to the force with which it is slammed down. Practical steps keep a failure log not for self-pity, but pattern recognition. Note what led to the stumble, extract the lesson, and record the pivot. This is the scientist's notebook for the experiment called progress. Over time, you will notice repeating themes: delayed communication, overpromising, under-researching. And you will patch them like a captain sealing leaks. Each correction sharpens the magnetic pull of your intentions because clarity plus resilience equals inevitability. Meanwhile, cultivate silence amid noise. The mind cannot adapt if bombarded without pause. Schedule non-negotiable intervals of stillness. Dawn walks without devices. 10-minute breathing resets weekly hours in libraries where dust, not dopamine, fills the air. Hill spoke of the sixth sense, intuition that whispers strategies logic has not yet solved. It speaks only in quiet corridors. Give it room and it will guide pivots so elegant people will label them genius. In the crucible of change, maintain gratitude still. Thank the detour for showing you shortcuts tradition hid. Thank the critic for stress testing your thesis. Thank the night for teaching you the stars. Gratitude in upheaval signals maturity, and maturity attracts stewardship of resources of influence of legacy. Legacy is where adaptability and resilience converge. You are not merely fabricating a career, you are carving initials on the timeline of humanity. The law of attraction. Written large, is civilizational Rome fell when its mindset calcified. Yet the Renaissance soared when curiosity magnetized artists, scientists, patrons into a vortex of rebirth. Which will you mirror, stagnation or renaissance? The choice is daily, granular, personal. As you choose, remember that energy is never lost. It simply changes address. Every hour rescued from scrolling, every doubt transmuted into study, every setback redirected into innovation. These are transactions in the cosmic economy. You deposit, compound, and one day withdraw influence that transcends calendar years, existing in inventions, insights, lives touched beyond your sight. Walk therefore not as a brittle statue, but as living water reflecting the sky, cutting through rock, nourishing every bank you touch, unstoppable because you yield, invincible. Invincible because you adapt, enduring because you flow. And should you wonder whether such fluidity diminishes strength, study the canyon carved by the Colorado River. Stone is rigid, yet water reshaped it mile by mile, until tourists gasp at the cathedral of color and depth. Let your flexibility cut through seemingly immovable barriers with the relentlessness of that river, and generations will stand in awe of the passage you left behind. We have journeyed from the spark of desire to the forge of action, and through the river of relentless adaptation. But there is one last magnet left to align the unending appetite to learn. Knowledge is the currency that never devalues, the only asset inflation cannot erode. Carnegie paid for entire libraries so that the hungry could feed on words. Today, the shelves have gone digital, infinite aisles, reachable from a glass rectangle in your palm. Ignorance, therefore, is no longer a circumstance. It is a choice. Embrace beginner's mind. The samurai polished his blade daily, not because it had dulled, but because the ritual kept arrogance at bay. So test your assumptions, question your methods, dismantle your best ideas to see if they withstand the autopsy of scrutiny. In doing so, you become anti-fragile, gaining grit, form friction, insight from collision power, form pressure. The law of attraction loves the anti-fragile, for it can entrust them with challenges of escalating magnitude, knowing each stressor will upgrade capacity. And in that expansion, remember to serve. Hill wrote that the path to riches is paved by rendering service of greater value than the pay first received. Service is the ultimate amplifier. It transforms personal ambition into collective ascent, multiplying impact like echoes in a canyon. When you solve a problem for one, the solution's resonance attracts 10 more who need it. Give more than you invoice. The universe tallies balance sheets with algebra more generous than any accountant's. Service fertilizes gratitude, and gratitude magnifies attraction. We return to that two-stroke engine. Close the loop. In the morning, ask, whom can I lift today? At night, record. What lifted me? The answers form a golden chain, linking sunrise to starlight. Forging a rhythm that hums so loudly, opportunity cannot help but dance to its beat. Now stand at the threshold of this moment. Feel the drum in your chest, that ancient metronome counting down to the choice taught births, destinies. History waits an unwritten parchment eager for ink. The secret law of attraction, you once forgot, now stands before you. Not as myth, but mechanism, be the frequency cast, the vision move with disciplined grace. Adapt, like water learn without end. Serve beyond self, and give thanks upon thanks. Take a breath charged with that knowledge and look around your life as if seeing it for the first time. Every object is clay, every circumstance. Cotton, waiting for the sculptor's hands of your intent. There is no neutral. You are either designing or defaulting. Decide. Design. Declare. Then do. Let your mornings start in silence and finish in sweat. Let your days read like chapters of a legend in progress. Let your nights close with gratitude so profound it rattles the gates of sleep and commands dreams to continue the labor. Do not spectate the miracle of existence, participate in it. Walk onto the field. The sidelines are crowded with critics whose jerseys remain pristine. The turf belongs to the blood-stained achiever who dare to play no one rehearsed. Sprint, leap, miss, rise dust-caked. Sprint again. That is how the universe knows you're serious. And when years from now, someone asks the secret, you will smile the smile of those who understand laws seldom believed until experienced. You will tell them no secret at all, just a sequence. Think clearly. Feel deeply. Act decisively. Adapt swiftly. Learn constantly. Serve generously. Thank endlessly. Then you will watch as their gaze shifts inward, listening for the low hum of possibility awakening in their bones. Because in the end, Destiny is simply identity over time. Craft the former with all the tools we have summoned tonight, and the latter cannot help but unfold in your favor. So go move as though the road itself is thrilled to feel your footsteps. Speak as though each word sows futures. Build as though generations will live in the houses of your ideas. This is your covenant with life, signed in resolve and witnessed by breath. Keep it, and the law of attraction will keep you in abundance in purpose, in unassailable joy. The stage lights dim. The music of this moment fades, but the real performance begins now. In the floodlit arena of your next decision, rise. Step forward. The world has waited long enough. And as you lay your head upon the pillow tonight, understand this, while your body surrenders to rest. The subconscious steward goes to work, indexing every declaration you made, every image you rehearsed, every emotion you cultivated today. It welds them into coordinates, broadcasts them across the lattice of circumstances, and summons the matching materials of tomorrow. Guard those bedtime thoughts as a king guards the vault. Drift to sleep, replaying victory, not worry. Envision bridges built, not barriers raised, and the architect within will labor until dawn. Dawn will answer with evidence, sometimes subtle, a nudge of intuition, sometimes seismic, a phone call that redraws your horizon. Receive both UTIH, equal gratitude, for each is a thread in the tapestry of your becoming. Keep weaving. Keep watching. Keep waking with that slight electric buzz in your veins, a reminder that unseen gears are turning in your favor. This is the law, ancient as starlight, immediate as breath, working for you now, because you finally remembered the missing clause: become before you receive. Now become, then receive, and never again forget. And should you waver, recall the lineage at your back, the countless dreamers who turned iron into skylines, silence into symphonies, shadows into revolutions. Their bloodline is not genetic. It is elective. They adopted a posture of mind, an audacity of spirit, and through that adoption became ancestors of every future triumph. Claim your place among them. Stand taller. Speak clearer. Act bolder. Knowing you carry their unfinished melodies in your marrow, let your life be the crescendo. They began and leave Earth a little more possible because you dared to remember, dared to attract, dared to become. Taught is the gift, the debt, and the destiny paid each day in the currency of courageous action.